Hi, Greg Lewis. Lou here again one more time. And today we're going to have a look at Google Currents. It's something that we can use. It's a great tool to use for communities of practice, somewhere where we want people to post thoughts, articles, respond, resources, that sort of thing. So clearly I'm signed in. I'm at, that's the first thing, right? SD69 Qualicum.ca. We need to have that email address used. Go into the 9 dots or the waffle. I'm going to go down to Google Currents. And this is what comes up for us. Now, under communities, this is where we can sort of create a community that has a very sort of specific focus, something that we're, sort of an affinity group, if you like. So you would create community, and this is where you're going to name this community. And just for now, we're going to call this one Lou's Blended Learning Group. Okay. Now here, I can restrict it to SD69 Qualicum.ca. And this is a good thing, I think, if you want to really open it up to people outside the organization or sort of the security privacy box, then by all means turn it off. Open within SD69, or you could just make it private. So in this case, we're going to try and get as many people, I think, as we can, and so we're going to just keep it open. Ask to join. People will need to ask to join your community. There's another way to get them in here. I'm going to just leave that off for now. And it's going to create that community. Now, one member. Oh my God. Well, that's me. So here, this is where we would invite people. And we can invite people with a link, or we could invite people that are currently on current. That's repetitive. Anyways, that's probably the easiest way, and anyone with the link can join this community. Now you have to be careful sometimes, but in this case G Suite's going to kind of keep people out that aren't part of the group, but allow invites by link. I want to click that on, and I would just click the copy, and at this point I would then paste that link into an email and send it out to folks. So this is under the Preferences tab. So if I go to the 3 dots as opposed to the 9 dots, you'll see that Preferences comes up. Manage the amount of posts in a home stream. I think we're going to leave that at standard. You can sort by the most recent or the top posts. Okay. Community notifications, you probably want to leave those on, and that's about it. Now also, you've got something called Edit Community. And this is where you could sort of say something like, those interested in both face-to-face and online, this is the spot for you. Okay? And you can say other people, you can say other things as well. Again, you've got some, if you wanted to get really, sort of top-down heavy, you could hold posts for review. And there's a description here of the group perhaps, or additional information. Categories. Now you can have just a general one called a discussion. This is where you could also create categories if you like, and that's pretty useful. So let's just say I have this one and I call it using an LMS, and then I have another one and it's called Tools for BL, Blended Learning, something like that. It'll create those categories if you like, and that just really helps us to, in our posts, you can come up with sort of tags if you like, and certainly we'll do that later on in another vid. But for now, that's something that you could put a sort of there. So let's say that we were reading certain books. We would sort of provide categories for those books that people could add on their posts. They could then add to a category. So if I said something like this, and the title was, what a great LMS that was, and blah blah blah. And so now up here you can also disable comments. That's not helpful most of the time. You can disable reshares. You can also send feedback. Now I believe when I go to hit post, it's going to say, hey man, do you want to pick a category here? Do you want to put it in discussion? And in this case, look, using an LMS. So it'll automatically put it in that category. And I think that's all I want to say now. The last thing I probably would do if I was setting up a community is here. Let's go to edit the community. And this is where I probably would upload some form of a picture or a logo, or perhaps it's a quote, something like that. And I think that's it for now. Thanks for listening. So that's part 1, setting up a Google Currents or a community within Google Currents, and part 2 will deal with using or making posts and sort of all the affordances offered there. Thanks for listening. Bye.